We finally got some rain going on today, so we're going to take advantage of the weather and see if we can't get the Bonneville fired up. So it's been a while since I've had this thing going. But we've got a trip coming up in a few weeks and really need to give it a good once over before we take off. So we'll see if we can get it fired up and take it over to the shop and put it on the lift. See what needs to be done to it. Alright, fuel on, choke out, key on. I think we'll give a kind of a quick rundown on this thing before I start working on it. It's an '07 Triumph Bonneville, still carbureted. I've had this thing for, oh criminy, I don't know, at least 10 years, probably more. It's not exclusively driven on pavement. It's hard to tell from here, but every once in a while this thing does see a bit of gravel, which is why I put the handguards on it, which is kind of a good thing because it gets dropped a lot because it's a heavy pig. One of the modifications was I got rid of the stock fender. I think this old metal thing it's off like a KZ 200 or something. It's just a single cylinder Kawasaki street bike, but it's pretty short. I've raised it up a bit. It helps, but it still plugs up pretty bad. I made a headlight guard for the thing because, well, you know, rocks. Let's see. Oh, I hacked up a wireless phone charger because my original USB plug, in severe vibration, it seems the cord wants to pull out. And I saw a buddy did this, and so I stole his idea. His looks a lot neater than mine because I just siliconed all the mechanism on the back of the phone mount, but it works pretty good unless it's super hot out, really sunny. Then the phone tends to want to overheat, so it's not ideal. Let's see. We got hand warmers, 2-position on it, and then the driving lights and a really well finished switch panel there that's you're probably going to be jealous of. Got a USB charger and a tire pressure sensor, the monitor, but it needs to be charged, and who knows, I suspect the tire pressure sensor's batteries are dead. They're just the cheapo ones that screw onto the end of onto your valve stem, which I've pulled them, so apparently they are dead. I've gone through a few different suspensions on it. Right now it's got the icons front and rear. They're okay. But again, you've got kind of limited travel, so it's, you know, and it's heavy. It's not really designed for this kind of stuff, so other than that, I guess we'll raise it up and flip it over a little more. I'm running the Hyde now, the K60 Sport Scout. Yeah, Scout. The K60 Scout on the front seems fine. I think it's real similar to the Metis, the whatever the hell these things are. This is what I usually run and put on kind of about everything. The Metis EO7s. Man, they just last forever. And they work pretty good. They're not as good as a true knobby, but they really work pretty well. I've changed the foot pegs. It had just the regular rubber stock things, and I pulled these off a dirt bike and then added another loop on to make them a little bit bigger, which works pretty well. The pipes are wrapped because off-road, slow moving, this thing puts off a lot of heat, and it really makes a difference. But I have to change it usually once a year because it just gets tore up in the grass and the weeds and whatnot and rocks. Kind of shreds it a little bit. This is on pretty fresh, so it looks good yet. There is a little bit of an oil leak up on the valve cover that I will probably never fix because, you know. I bobbed the rear fender purely for looks because the other one hung down, I don't know, somewhere in that range, and I just didn't care for it. Other than that, this is just a plug-in for the heated gear. It's nothing to do with the carburetor. It's just where I stick it because it stays there. It looks like I got a carburetor that's leaking a little bit, which I have not had before, but after 10 years, I suppose it's bound to happen. Let's see. Maybe kick that on. That might help a little bit. Apparently I have a broken turn signal. So see, it's a good thing I run that. This silicone is in here because the rubbers got bad on this headlight mount, and so it rattles on the forks, which is quite annoying. Looks like I'm gonna have to clean my oil cooler out. It's gotten a little packed in. I cobbled up just some solid metal here to make kind of a backing for the bags. It's not pretty, but it's pretty lightweight and seems to have held up fairly well over the years. So they've been on there for quite a while. Other than that, I do have a couple of tubes hollow pipe welded in. That's where I stick a backrest out of a car, or not a backrest, a headrest. Just slips down in there if the wife's riding along. Keeps her on when I'm wheeling. We're gonna let this run a little bit, let the oil get warmed up before I dump it, and also see if maybe this carburetor will quit leaking. Official Keen carburetor adjusting tool. This thing's got the British Customs Predator, I think they're called, pipes on it. I don't know. They're way too loud. reason I think they're called Predators. And it's okay, but it's a little loud for my taste. Not bad at an idle, but if you're behind me running down a gravel road, I'm sure it's got to be horrific. There we go. And that was kind of handy because a little bit of vibration knocks some more mud off there. All right, we got her drained. Time to throw some fresh in there. We'll go with what I've got on hand, which is good old Valvoline synthetic blend 530. That should work pretty well. We'll give that a shot. And if you think there's something better, you might let me know down in the comments, because I know pretty much everybody on the internet enjoys a good old-fashioned oil debate. I think we got everything accomplished that we wanted to get done. The lights are all still working on this thing. We've got the tires aired up, got the oil changed, got the chain retensioned and sort of cleaned up. The carburetor quit leaking, so we're gonna call that fixed. I grabbed one of the headrests, so we'll chuck that in. Look at that. I'm surprised that's not a factory option from Triumph. That is just glorious. So, about the only thing left to do, really, of course, is this, which is, we need to put this away, because this motorcycle is going to stay exactly the way it is. That seems like kind of a waste to polish up something that's going to get pounded down the back roads. So I guess for now, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and till next time, toodaloo.